Hello, this is Arnix, and this is the SteelSeries Qck Prism cloth. Check it out. Hey, what is up guys, Arnix here, and today we are reviewing a new piece of gear. It's something that I bought recently, and it's a mouse pad. It's an RGB mouse pad, and that is the SteelSeries Qck Prism cloth. I've always wanted one of these things. I've always wanted a mouse pad because it sounds a bit annoying when I'm moving my mouse across my desk. So I decided to get one, and my mouse was also leaving this dust or dirt prints on my desk, so I want to stop that from happening. So me and my girlfriend, we did like a gift exchange, and she decided to get me one of these, and I couldn't thank her more for this. I decided to get this instead of Razer's RGB mouse pad because this one has 2 zones, so you've got a lot more like colors going on in your RGB settings. Anyway, let's dive right into what comes inside the box. Literally inside the box, it's just one piece of item. It's the mouse pad rolled up with the cord being connected to it. So there's no pieces that you have to connect together. You just plug it into your computer and it works instantly. Easiest setup in the world, I gotta tell you. Once you plug it in, the thing will light up, and it will use the default sort of color shift, full RGB spectrum kind of thing. You got rainbow colors going on. Overall, it's kind of larger than I thought it would be, but it still fits my desk, so I'm thankful for that. And just the fact that this thing can bend and roll while still having RGB lights is kind of cool. I don't know how they do it. It feels like these lights on the sides are actually clear plastic, and then I guess the lights are sort of inside the mat. So this plastic, this translucent plastic, just helps to spread that light across. And I gotta say, I think these lights are pretty bright. I'm starting to feel that they're brighter than my Razer Huntsman Elite's RGB lights. I think among my keyboard, my mouse, and the mouse pad, I think the mouse pad is the brightest among all of them. But yeah, just the way it looks, how bright it is, how vibrant the colors are, and that stitching kind of profile that it has to the sides, I think it looks pretty sleek. In terms of the mat, the rubber underside is kind of, it doesn't stick completely well to my desk. I don't know if it's the same for anybody else out there, especially on the sides, because it's sort of like this long mouse pad, so it's kind of hard to stick everything together. And as this came out of my box, it's not entirely flat, so it took a while to like flatten this thing perfectly, but right now I think it sits perfectly good on my desk. So yeah, if you're seeing bending, it shouldn't be a problem over time. The top side of the mat feels good to the touch. It's smooth for my mouse. It doesn't slip very well. It doesn't restrict the movement too much. I think it's just nice. And of course, it sounds better than moving your mouse across the desk. So that's for the physiques of this mouse pad right here. Let's go to the RGB lights. Now, as I said earlier, you have 2 zones of RGB. You can set each zone to be a different effect, a different color, and you can do this by going to SteelSeries Engine 3. That's the app for controlling RGB lights for your SteelSeries products. I have a SteelSeries mouse and a mouse pad, so I use that to control both of my RGBs on the mouse and on the mouse pad. So as I said earlier about the outer side being like clear plastic, if you disable one of the zones, you can actually still see some light on that zone. It's not completely dark or not illuminated because the lights from the other zone can actually get to that other zone as well. So it might appear that one zone is just brighter and then the other zone is just much more dimmer. It might be a cool effect that you want to try out, but I think it's something cool that I stumbled upon. With the software, you can customize your RGB settings, you can do color shifts, you can do multicolor breathes, you can do steady lights, all sorts of things. So I made mine a color shift from blue to red because that's sort of my theme going on here. So I did that for 2 zones, but one goes from red to blue and one goes from blue to red just because I don't want them to go at the same time. I want to sort of have a dynamic going on. It's the same colors, but they're changing at different times. So yeah, I guess that's it guys for today. Thank you guys for watching my video. If you guys want to see other more product reviews, I do some of those. I don't do that all the time, but you guys can check it out on my channel. And of course, if you want to, you can always hit that subscribe button. It's going to help me quite a bit. But again, I thank you guys for watching. I'm Zarnix, and I'll see you guys in the next video.